With the affirmations to enjoy your day with. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The netters are my battery. I got my discipline. My source comes from within. Root chakra grounded in the cosmos so infinite. Nagas through my veins. Currencies flow through ligaments. Another netta instrument. Manifest me dividends. I'm on my mastery. Self-doubt is blasphemy. I'm the God I ask for me, connected to my astral being. I summon other beings, all facets of me. Magician carve my meaning. My purpose is the alchemy. I am numero uno, Raishi on my mind, lion's mane, big on sumo, Babalao aligned with Pluto. We kick back like we judo, karma licks back with Pluto. Heart on a feather, that represents my new growth. Trusting me is crucial, the God in me a do show. I'm bigger than your economics, politics, and Google. My omnipresence is the true show, all the world is stage. Allow my authentic self to be the sage. Fumigating parasites all up in my space. Cause I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than indoctrinations. Naga's rising cavalry. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. I'm bigger than the situation. Nettas are my battery. I am who masters me. I embody mastery. Naga's rising cavalry. The nettas are my battery.
Supreme evening, divine evening to all. I am Naga, and I come to talk to y'all real quick. Okay, that's fine. The world always goes quiet every so long or so often. It goes quiet, and what y'all don't know is this world was built off the value of what you don't know. As long as I can put icing on that, then you wouldn't know. And for the most part, people are like, "Tell the story. Tell me what happened. I want to hear. I want to hear the movie." Everything ain't that simple. It's never that simple. So this is why you give it to the divine. Just imagine or think for a moment. Why would opposing energies be quick to tell something when the other half of that energy is not so quick to speak on it? And it kind of goes over a lot of people's heads for the most part, but identifying the value of being ambitious, whether it's negative or positive, is always a retrospect. Back in medieval times, a king would look at an ambitious person as dangerous because they didn't want to follow orders. They wanted to do what they wanted to do, and then they would automatically never listen, which meant what? They were disobedient. They were always trying to test the king. This is where ambition came from. And then as the years changed into the place or value of where we're at now, people started looking at ambition as a good quality to have to go forth in the world to, accumulate, conquer, whatever you're trying to do in that value. Excuse me. Well, what's important about that is the fact that there's so many attributes to trying to be or speaking that you're ambitious. And for the most part, nobody's teaching that in a class. They're not showing you the manipulation value to some of these words that the scholars has allowed themselves to indoctrinate into a value of you being a fortuitive person. People are stupid at the end of the day because they will rather quote what they've read and stand as if they're intelligent when you're only quoting what you read. You haven't experienced anything. Experience is always going to be the main key of knowledge. especially when you get a chance to go through it yourself. And for the most part, especially in our culture, watching different things happen on a low budget, and we becoming, hold on. So for the most part, this is where you get this energy of people being so outspoken or trying to even discredit a value. This only happens within our culture, right? So it's like we're trying to catch up to the stories of insignificant value. So the things people lived in their past, oh, we gotta be this, we gotta be that, and that's the only way we're gonna win. That's because the level of knowledge doesn't obtain past the fact of what you thought you knew about shit. Most people sit around and watch TV all day and believe that's reality. You know what I'm saying? Most people are just, this stupid shit. And when you sit around different people who don't do anything, your reality starts to equate to that same value because you don't see nothing past the individual that you're connected to. We got to keep in mind, semen travels up the spinal cord and gets stuck in your brain. So if you're dealing with dumb motherfuckers your whole life and you're laying down with dumb motherfuckers and you're giving birth to dumb motherfuckers that come from the dumb motherfucker you lay with, then all that energy from that dumb motherfucker is now inside your brain and in your creation. You can have all the love in the fucking world, but it doesn't state the value of the DNA capability. It's a fact. But ultimately, most people get in their own mindset and they believe that they are making better decisions that they made before, unbeknownst to them, endangering other things that they may have attached to them and don't want to take responsibility for that value. I've always been outspoken, whether or not I knew how to say what I was trying to get across, or whenever I did get across or understand what I was trying to say, I got it across in a way where I didn't give a fuck how nobody felt about me getting across. And that's how people would try to prejudge me. Oh, no, you're this, you're too angry, you're too that, you're too this, because I was unmanageable. Meaning you couldn't put me in a box no matter how hard you tried to do that shit. Shit never fucking mattered in the first place. And divine was never going to let me be weak to no value to no person. Yes, I know how to get along, but I will never be destroyed or conquered by no man. That is a weapon formulated. So the idealistic value of a man sitting behind four walls or a woman sitting behind four walls describing or depicting the value towards someone is just a level of hate. This is why we came up with the term haters, because you can't do that in society. And when you do it unbeknownst to the person you speaking about being there. That means that's like saying you talking about somebody that's dead and they can't defend themselves because you know they're dead. So you're constantly talking about what they did now that they're gone, like it has some form of value, when the only thing you had to do was learn a lesson from the person when they was here and you won't be in this circumstance in the first place. This shows you how spirituality kicks your ass even after death. Most people don't understand this shit. And this is why when I speak to y'all about divine, I try to empower y'all to look at the opposing parties and put them in their place. Because the ears that are listening to these are yours. The conversation piece that carries this rhetoric or this energy from these opposing parties are yours. When do you stand up as individuals who are absorbing this, or do you just think you're not a part of it? Well, you're very much a part of it because you're listening to it. You're listening to it. Instead of standing to it, you will let it play, you will laugh, you'll snicker. What this speaks on is the lesser value, the shallow value of the individuals that are that are indulgent in this particular type of conversation with the individual that carries the hate. See, people want religion to fall in its highest attribute of control because it speaks to the highest attribute of controller. It's like I'm going to an individual and I'm like, you got to give me a chance. But if it's their thing and they're like, nah, I'll let you work for me, but I don't want you to run my shit. This is my baby. And I'm like, but you just got to give me a shot. That's ambitious. That means you're trying to do something out of the recognizance of your own creation. So you'll rather go take from somebody else than to do your own thing. See, divine allows a lot of this negative energy to play a role because it's definitely going to separate the value of who's intentionally trying to be helpful and who's not. And every little settlement is important. Like, you know, it's funny how man believes he's way more intelligent than divine. Oh, I'll just do it this way. If I say it like this, it doesn't matter. If I say it like this, you don't understand or you don't comprehend. So since you don't comprehend or understand, I can do it. What's funny about that is this is the same energy that you're telling the universe. So soon you will be placed in that same retrospect. It'll be dumb if you come back to life as an animal that can't speak for itself, but you lead all your ideals to whoever's in control of you, or whatever that means, shape or form. It can be a retardation on a person to where they have to look towards someone because they can't take care of themselves, but yet you have this faint memory of you being strong in your own aspect. So why would life do you this way? Well, you were hard-headed in your last life. You know, these stories, these struggle stories are interesting. And me personally, despite the value of what I may be dealing with in my life, I easily come to grips. Hold on. Excuse me. It allows you to come to grips with the particular values. I might have just lost my train of thought, but anyway. You just got to know this world has had narratives for a long time. I remember when in the 80s, you would watch a TV show and they would show you the family or the group or the main setting of the scene. Everybody's in some type of form of good energy. You have the controlling one, you have this one, you have that one. You have all these different characteristics, but they work together. Who set that narrative? Who put that narrative in motion to pick out certain negative aspects in people and have that be the main quality that we will all have to subsequently deal with because, oh, that's just the character of a person? It's a freaking lie. And that's what the world taught people to be. They taught people to pick out the negative parts and some good parts, and then you would divide up the world between those two. No, a narcissist actually did that. An evil motherfucker in his mind actually put that together to give room for the characteristics that existed within their particular culture. And see, I don't want to start talking about KSARs and all this other dumb shit. I'm not going to go that far into the value because it's really not in my best interest to even give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, to keep it 100. But what I do overstand more over than anything, the criteria changes every 10 years, meaning the way people look at life, the definitions, the strongholds and the understanding of certain positions, they change every 10 years. So whatever you think you know now in 10 years is going to be different. 20 years is going to be gone. Okay, so this is what people do to continue keeping this negative shit floating around. The way you treat people, the manipulation, the lies, the constant carrier of negative downpour. It's important, and it's definitely imperative to the time we're living in, that we live in the time of Aquarius, going towards the end of this season or the end of this era of things. And the Aquarius, the time of Aquarius is the water bearer, which means the one that brings forth knowledge. So the one that carries the jug that pours out the water, right? That is the Aquarius. So the contrast to that would be a person who's carrying knowledge of false retrospect. So that's a hater. That's a person who's carrying false information. I told y'all in one of my bills, like, I don't know, I got over 1,300 videos. You would really have to catch up with me to see where my mind is. You have to go deep through everything that I know to see where my mind is, to actually get on the level that I'm on. But I always spoke to everybody that the box of control aspect that comes with this existence that we live in is yin and yang, is up and down, is good and bad. So you're going to have people who prejudge out of their self. They hate their self so much they're looking for something that's better. And when they see things that are better than them, they judge it. They judge it because they didn't make the decisions that they should have made in their lives. They failed their lives and they're constantly trying to, I'm still going to win. I'm still going to make this happen. I'm still going to do this. You're just a fucking fuck up at the end of the day. And you can't stand to this shit. You can't say, well, okay, well, no, I'm not that. No, people cause detriment to a lot of people's lives. A lot of us say, oh, well, it happens to the best of us, or everybody goes through something. That is not true. That is not true. I look in life and I see people have the opportunity to do the right things with the right situations. And you know what they do? They F it up on purpose. They F it up on purpose. They don't take the time to dissect their emotions and say, well, I'm going to move this way, so therefore I can carry it. No, you got people literally out here burning candles, wishing on your downfall. Because they want to be first, second, and third. And they think they're slick. They think nobody knows. Just because you speak a little cleaner, or you speak this way, or you think because you keep a regiment going that nobody knows. That's where your secret is hidden at. Your secret is hidden within the value of how sharp you present the value of what you're talking about. And divine don't do that, because divine makes the whole world. If you go look in the woods, nothing is straight. You look on the mountains, nothing is straight. Everything is like chaotic. It's up and down. It moves all around. But that's where the beauty comes in at. So in that same retrospect, it still speaks to the fact that people hide with false beauty behind their chaos. See, we were supposed to have dominion over the animals in the earth. We weren't supposed to be as if we were like that. So you got people who are chaotic, who are confusing and all that, but because they got a pretty smile, or they can talk to you in a certain way, you follow this energy. And then you beat yourself in, oh, that's not bad. That's not this. That's not that. No, they're liars, because all they can do is manipulate you. That's all they can do is manipulate you. For a person to give it to you real, and then you shudder away, or you get so emotional because somebody told you some real truth, it shows what you have experienced in your life to the full totality. Not much of that. Not much of that. You haven't had truth a lot, because you get hurt when truth comes around. Somebody can speak to you in a strong tone and you act like a bitch. This is a reality. Men don't move like that, and women don't either. Not real women and not real men. We really care. We really don't care too much about what somebody else got going on unless you're directing that towards us. Automatically, a person who walks in that particular energy need police help. They need psychiatry help, because you're in society, you're in public, bringing a misdirection towards certain things that need benefit. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. And every dog has his day. No matter how well you lie, or no matter how well you cheat, every dog has his day. And that understanding has to come to pass. I told y'all a long time ago, you don't have to be a part of the negative ways of things. You just have to be honest with yourself. I come from people who don't know how to be honest. They rather lie, cheat, steal to self-serve themselves. And I don't know, I guess somewhere in this reality, they believe that I'm just going to rock with shit. No, I don't give a shit at the end of the day. I really don't care. You know what I'm saying? You do me dirty like that, you show me the facets of how dirty you are, you will never, ever, ever grace my existence ever again. I don't give a shit. That shit it doesn't move me left or right. I'm not going to be like, oh, boo-hoo. Oh, these people don't like me, or these people do it. No, I don't care. I'm just going to move the fuck away from your ass. And I'm going to keep going until I can keep that energy away from me. You know, it's sad that we even got to deal with this particular type of energy in the world, but people of my culture are the first ones to say, oh, somebody doing something. Ain't nobody doing shit to you. It's your own people. It be your own people, because that's all it takes. It takes two halves of a dynamic to stand. This is why the mother and the son is important. This is why the father and the daughter is important, because it's two halves to a dynamic. You wasn't supposed to damage those things. You were supposed to be able to be apt to stand in that righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So when you got, no matter where your family is, when you see families that are separating the value, and they're saying, oh no, this is that, this is that. No, it's because it's two batteries. So the mother has to be close to the son, so when he gets stronger, he knows how to nurture himself. The daughter has to be close to the father, so when she gets older, she knows what respect is, and she knows how to carry it for her counterpart. So divine don't make mistakes. Everything is set in the motion of how it's supposed to be. But when you get this apartheid energy saying, well, I don't have to do this and I don't have to do that. Well, you're not just going against your parents, you're going against the Almighty too. Whether or not you feel like you're being disrespectful, or you checking your parents, or you think you're getting whatever, you're an idiot. The bottom line of that, you're an idiot. You 40, 50, 60 years old, 70 years old, and you're talking about, oh, I went through slavery days and nobody did this. Nobody don't give a shit. You should have been playing the role for what's around you. Instead of pointing out what you didn't have, no, you make that better for what's around you. You don't make them suffer. And that's how you bring karma to you. This is why they say do not antagonize the child. My son called me one day or texted me one day and had all this shit to say, like he thought he understood what he was saying. And it's only because he was manipulated by my mother in the circumstances. He don't know shit. But for me to go battle him, lack thereof of what he knows, is not something I was going to do. I'd rather walk away from you than to have that conversation with you because you don't know shit. So my response was subtle. Less or nothing. Let him say whatever he wants. Now you deal with the Most High on that. You deal with the Most High on that, because what you're doing is you're disrespecting your creator at this point by the rhetoric of everything around you. That's something you got to deal with, and there's nothing going to shake that. I know once I came to that value of myself, just to respect that. If my parents ever disrespected me from that notion, I would just leave and walk away, because they have to deal with that karma. They have to deal with their own choices of what they've done to me. And I won't be there to fix it. I won't be there to put a Band-Aid on it. I won't be there to have a conversation nor nothing. You won't have shit from me. And that's fine, because you made a choice. You made a choice to go against me. You made a choice to treat me as if I was an option. You made a choice to treat me as if I can be the image of something that's walked on or treated lesser than. That has never been the case for me in no circumstance. But for a person to even think of these values, to attempt to oppress this notion on particular people, that shows ultimately that you have a mental issue you have to deal with. And I don't deal with sociopaths. I don't deal with crazy motherfuckers. I don't deal with nobody who has a negative agenda. If that's what you want to live like in your life, that's up to you to do that. That's your choice. But you will pay for that as well. There's karma for everything. Just like everybody goes through karma. Yeah, I choose to stay on the right path because I don't want that karma. You know, so. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to keep my family and friends separate. That's always going to be my newest rule ever. My family and friends will always be separate. If I can trust parts of my family by their actions, then I have no problem bringing them into different friendships I create in this world. And I have a lot of relationships I created in this world that have tons and tons of value. But why would I want to bring negative people around that energy that seeks to destroy these things, or seek to be ambitious with themselves, or don't have self-control around the right people, or don't know how to conduct yourself around people who don't or may not have lived the life you lived? See, these are things people don't think because they're self-serving. You don't sit down and say, well, you know what? These people probably never went through the things I've went through, so my emotion and the way I move is not conducive for this crowd of people. No, they just put on a fake mask and they put on fake conversations and they go around, they talk dumb shit until they get the opportunity to be thieves. I had to tell a brother of mine, I won't speak on his name because I don't want to put him in that energy, but I had to tell a brother of mine one point in life, we were somewhere. He was like, yo, I just want to rob him. And I'm like, why? Why would you think like that? Because you're up here. Why? Because you can just go home? I was like, but you're leaving me here with that. That showed me in his choice that he only cared about himself. He didn't care the fact that I had to live there. He just wanted me to put him on somebody that he can hurt and take from. And I'm like, that's not good in your blood. You need to take that shit out of your blood somehow. That's not a good thing. And it shouldn't have been from me as his older brother to impress this value on him. I got a lot of brothers. I had a few younger brothers, so don't jump to conclusions thinking you know what I'm talking about. But I had to like express to the value that your parents should have told you about, or express that value and not being like that. But he couldn't, because everybody that he came from was the same way. So I understood what he's going to be stuck in. Automatically, a lot of people don't take responsibilities for the choices they make in life, and you end up being stuck with dealing with particular energies that don't serve you. And it's a constant replication of these values that destroy the culture. This is what we mean by our people kill our own culture. You can't blame this on somebody who don't know your culture. And if you actually deal with other cultures, like if you actually had friendships with other cultures, as much conversation as we have about other cultures, you will see that they just don't know shit about you. They just don't know nothing about your life, because other cultures, they don't really treat their families this way. The structure is different. The parents might be more disciplined. They might be more aggressive. They might not eat the same food you do. They may eat in a different way. They may sleep at a different time. So when you come into their world, it's almost like a clash of a difference. So automatically, it has anything that it doesn't have anything to do with hate at that point. It has a lot to do with understanding in the time that we live in right now. So ultimately, we are the most verbal culture. We are the most verbal culture that has everything to say with a force and energy, because we're actually afraid. We're afraid. This is one of the most fearful cultures ever to step foot in this time of existence. And we're afraid to see or help the progression of any one individual that may seemingly have a better wherewithal to control the value of growth. And we, as a culture, that's sickening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got an older brother that always is a good follower. You know what I'm saying? You put him in a room with a bunch of people, tell him what to do, he's gonna repeat to you verbatim. Go create some shit on his own, not happening. He'd rather take it from you. And my father, he's such a negative, my real father. Well, I don't even know if he's my real father, depending on, my mother has told me so many different things. Like, I believe he's my father, but I don't know, like, at this point in my life, because I don't act like that. Like, I'm not even that type of individual. I will give it a shot, but not those type of shots. And I think about certain things as far as how our culture always has secrets in the family. Like, you might have had a kid around that might have been family, and they hid it from the kid while he was little, but as he got older, you start seeing having this dislike for an individual because of the choices you made in life. And then you seek to control these values because naturally that's just who you are as an individual, a fuck up. And you want everything to bend to the will of you, not to the will of the divine. So what does that say about the hypocritical value of people who swear that they're so religious? Hypocrites to its fullest totality. You know, it doesn't matter what circumstance that I'm in, what I don't have, what I can accumulate at the moment. Oh, we got him good this time. He don't got this. He won't get up. This, that. All this dumb shit. You'll never stop the level of intelligence that I have. Now, it ain't too many people that can sit in a room with me and have a conversation without me destroying that shit in the first 5 or 10 minutes. And this ain't just happened overnight. People who really know me know this nigga's mind is not nothing to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? I used to have couples calling me, and I would sit down with couples and have a three-way conversation with couples and help them restructure their shit, even though my relationship wasn't worth the shit. I was a good listener. And I'm not afraid to say the truth. I'm not afraid to tell somebody when they're wrong, whether it's man or woman. I was never that really in certain situations when I was younger. As I got older, I started learning to check myself. Sometimes I would be, when I was younger, I ain't gonna front, I had my flaws when it came to certain situations with women. It's because I didn't really know, and you would feel a lot, you know. And now that my mind is where it is, I would take a lot of things that happened in the past and restructure it and just hold on to it because it might have been good in the long run. But ultimately, I look at how life presents, and then I look at how people present life that presents its value to it. People are not deserving of this world. You're not deserving to have a place like this. You're not deserving to have the opportunities that the Most High gave you to have. You're not deserving of that because you don't know how to be responsible for it. A car is 6,000 pounds plus, and that is a heavy responsibility to carry. And if you drive a car without understanding what you're doing, you can hurt someone, right? So I'm walking up the road yesterday, no, not yesterday, 2, 3 days ago. I'm going to the store, or whatever, about 4 days ago, and there was a dog on the side of the road, puppy, and it got hit by a car. You can see the leg was broken or whatever. And I felt so bad when I saw the dog, but I didn't want to touch the dog because I didn't know if it had a gash on the other side or what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I don't like blood at the end of the day. You're not gonna make me go look at something bloody. I'm be like, ew, first and foremost. Like, that's just how I am. I don't really like the gory parts of life. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I'm not never been into the gory parts of life. But to see that dog there, it broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? And I literally got emotional because it was a puppy. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't a small puppy. It was a fairly large puppy, but it was still a puppy. And I got emotional seeing that dog on the side of the road. And I wiped my eyes and I was like, man. And I was telling the dog, get up. That car accident it wasn't that much. You way stronger than that, buddy. And the dog was literally trying to get. See, I'm about to get emotional telling y'all this. This is crazy, y'all. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Mm. Yeah, I'm a sucker for heart shit. You know what I'm saying? Like real heart shit. I get emotional, but um, so the dog was just like laying there, and I'm telling the dog, yo, you gonna be all right. You can make it. Get up. And I'm like saying it in my mind too, and I'm like accessing what I know with divinity, my heart and my mind, and I'm entwining those two frequencies. I'm entwining my heart and my mind together, and I'm begging to the divine. I'm like, divine, if you have something inside of me that can help this poor animal, please allow it to come through with my thoughts. And I'm just focusing that way. I'm not even trying to like touch the dog or anything. And tears came down my face, and I wiped my face off, right? And the dog was like really trying to get up. The dog he was trying to get up. And I was like, wow, he's trying to get up off of the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like it just he was like shaking, but he was like he can feel me. Like the dog can feel me. And I was like, get up. That car accident ain't nothing. I said, get up. You stronger than that now. Come on. You get up. And that dog was trying, right? It was trying. I could see him shaking. He was shaking, like trying to push himself forward, right? And I just prayed for the dog. I'm gonna show you the power of the Most High. Okay, you can believe what you want. Show you the power of the Most High. The whole time I'm praying for this dog, right? I'm praying and I'm like, yo, it's gonna be all right. And I'm standing up. I'm not even over the dog. Like I'm literally like 3, 4 feet away because, like I said, I don't like gory shit. I didn't want to touch it. Um, I walked away because I know I had somewhere to go, and the dog was looking at me in my eyes. The way he was looking at me, just like, please help me somehow. And I didn't know what to do for the dog. And me praying at that moment, 2 cars pulled up out of nowhere. There was 2 girls, and they both had white cars. And the girl said, hey, did you see a dog down there get hit by a car? I was like, he's right there, and he's still alive. They picked up the dog and took the dog to the medical place. And I'm pretty sure the dog got assistance and got help. But they got the dog in time. And I just felt so much better. I kept looking back. I was like, wow, yo, the power of frequency. And see, I believe it happened like that because there was nothing I can do for the dog at that moment, even though I felt emotional behind the value. There's nothing I can do for the dog. I didn't even have a phone to call nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to take the dog too. You know what I mean? Like, so it was crazy that 2 cars pulled up out of nowhere, 2 white cars with 2 females in it that actually, one female in each car, they actually picked the dog up and took the dog wherever it had to be. And the dog is, I'm hoping now safe. I don't know, but in that vision, it showed me that that dog got the acceptance. So I thought about it. I said, would that had happened if I had just kept going? If I had just kept walking and didn't pay no attention, would that had happened? It possibly would have, or an animal could have got the dog. You know what I'm saying? Vultures is around. You got wild animals. They'll attack and kill and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? I felt like I needed to stand there with that dog for a moment. And I did. Another car could have hit it and ran it over and made it worse. Who knows what would have happened? But I believe because I stood there with the dog and felt some type of way, that signal brought something closer to help that individual animal. And I'm not saying this to speak on anything mystifying. Only thing I'm saying is we have a better in tune value to serve people in the surface of this planet so much better, but we choose not to because of because of uh because of what they call it, favoritism. So what you have favorites of, or what you think is value, this is what you want to be of value. It's a Cinderella story. Them ugly ass damn daughters that lady had, and them big feet and messed up ways of thinking and messed up minds, but you want to put the glass slipper on fungus. You wanna put the crown on a pig's head. You wanna do some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like constantly to self-serve the value, and divine is like, this is not my plan. What is wrong with you? Why are you standing against the value? And it's always because of somebody else's experience. Oh, well, I went through this and this happened to me, and so what? You're still here though. You're still here, and you have the opportunity to do wonderful, wonderful things, but yet you choose to do this. That's a miraculous way of looking at life. How many opportunities a person has to be great, but yet you choose to be fucked up. You choose to be wrong. You choose to be a liar. You choose to be a manipulator. You think you're tapping into powers that only divine really has, but because of the rhetoric of the world, you're only dealing with demons. You're gonna be as powerful as the energy you source from. So if you're pulling from demon light, you're only a demon, a dim light. That's all you are. You're the weakest version of humanity. So when y'all think y'all pulling on magic and you doing this, I heard somebody talking about, oh, the darkness is a part of us too. Yeah, you're not in control of that, and you don't orchestrate it neither. What divine sets in motion is for what divine sets in motion, not for man to play with and tinker with how he sees fit. This is the reason why shit gets messed up all the time. This is the reason why the world be running away from, oh, what's happening? The end of the world, because you motherfuckers is dumb. Period. Self-serving and don't understand nothing you're doing. You look out the side of your eye and you're comfortable in your own home and you're comfortable in this value and da-da-da-da. Take away these fucking comforts and show me how well you stand. Take away your comforts and show me how well you stand. Take away your little items you grab, your candles and whatever else you're using to produce the value of your hatred, and show me how well you stand. Because the elements is not going to be too nice to most of your bodies. The elements, the natural order things outside is not going to hold you up into the value of when you look in the mirror after you put your makeup on and you feel some type of way. No, the elements ain't going to let you keep that. Water feels good when you have access to it all the time. A hot shower is good. The little things that matter. See, y'all take all these things for granted. And you do what you want. And while you're taking these little things for granted, you are impressing your negative feelings onto individuals who might not have no negative feelings towards you. But because you carry this particular level of energy, automatically divine is saying, I need to make this fair. How comfortable do you think you can be in my world not standing on my laws? The world has already made the false rhetoric of other things for you to have fear, just so you can mess up the gift given to you by the Almighty. Just so you can walk away from that. Almighty is Almighty at the end of the day, and there's no fixing what you did. When you do something, you have to stand on it. And that's the sad reality. I remember so many times when I was younger, I would see so many things and I would have so many different feelings and so many different experiences, and I would get attacked for it. I would get told I'm not this, I'm not that, I don't have this, I don't have that. And it was because they were already giving theirs away. People want the things that God gives them to serve how life fits them. It works. It's a double-edged sword. You can't be mad at people and say, I'm calling judgment. It doesn't work like that. It works after you've done every good thing you possibly can. when you wring out all the good juice you had to offer. If you had a contract, it's like saying you're in a relationship with somebody, right? And you chose to love this person. So that's your choice. There is levels of how far you can go on that understanding. You can't beat the person. You can't hurt the person or force the person to do something they don't want. And you cannot speak to the person the way you want. You have to learn to bite your tongue. This is what a relationship is about. It's about having respect. So automatically, when these things are taking place, you are being tested by divine to see how well you orchestrate what you chose to sign up for. So divine is saying, okay, I see what they're doing, but how do you handle it? How did you do it? What did you say to them? What energy did you put off when you was in this situation? People don't look at life like that. You walk around and you say, well, no, this is what, no. I wish I can sit down with everybody and just have one whole conversation. This is the majority of the time why I want to go live, because I want to hear everybody's points of view. I want people to come in and sit down and talk, and we really have some good dialogue. But when I look through comments on different social media pages and I'm listening to people talk or whatever, and I'm like, first thing I hear is your parents. I don't hear you. I hear your parents. I hear the stuff you come from, because this is where you hide behind your picture or your page and you feel more audacity. Well, for the most part, the world is weak in these ways, and this is how people falter, because of audacity. I can't make y'all believe anything, but my request to you would be draw closer to the divine. Put down what you've experienced. Stop remembering what parents have done to you on a heinous scale. Stop remembering or holding on to the negative aspects of it's a battle rapper, right? I ain't gonna even talk. Matter of fact, I'll throw it in there. I'm gonna talk about it. Math Hoffa, Sirius Jones, and Head Ice. Now, I love these battle rappers. They dope. But Sirius Jones always gave off the energy that he was a good dude. He never gave off the energy that he kind of gave off this energy like he was trying to have an image. Not like he was really that. Like, you can see the good dude behind the facade he was putting up. And it might not be a facade, but you can still, like, every interview he might have did, I just felt that the dude was a genuinely good dude. And he got punched in the face at a battle years ago, over 10 years ago. Him and the guy, they squashed the beef or whatever, and the beef got reignited 10 years later. And now it seems as if when Sirius Jones talks about it to the people who are involved, it feels as if he's trying to emit a level of power or strength as if he is that individual, and he never carried that type of energy before on camera. It's like, why are you trying to be extra now 10 years later? Why are you coming at the people who literally care for you? You don't see that as care. And it's like, what is the extra rhetoric for? Well, it's for attention. Most people want to seem or feel or appear as if they can put fear in somebody, and that shows the lack of knowledge one has. You can't inflict fear on a person who is comfortable with themselves. You can inflict fear on a person who don't know themselves. But when you try to inflict characteristic traits on people who know themselves, you look like you're attempting to do something. That's the difference in between those values. A person who know themselves is watching you and said, you're attempting to do this to me. A person who don't know themselves will feel what you're doing and say, I don't know why they treat me this way. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really get too mixed up in these values. I'm a wish a nigga woods type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I hear you talking all that shit. I'm outside. I'm always outside. I'm never tucked away, hiding nowhere. I'm always outside. Come see me if that's how you feel. You know what I'm saying? I wish a nigga would. Because what you do to me, when you attempt to do something to me, I have all rights to protect myself. And whatever means necessary. You might run up on me and think I'm by myself and be in the wrong place. Like, oh, he by himself. And then 30 motherfuckers come out of nowhere. You're like, oh, I didn't know they was around here. Oh, no. What you wanted to do? You had plans, right? Shit like that. But at the end of the day, I ain't gonna keep having these dumbass conversations, man. I just hope and pray that people get their life right and they decide to walk the right path. Because who wants to see anybody eradicated from the earth forever? Who wants to see anybody gone, wiped away from existence? Hakai. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're hit with the Hakai and you're just gone forever. Turn into particles. Look, all praise due to the Most High. It takes one motion to do the right thing. You don't need an hour-long conversation. You don't need somebody to pat you on your back. You just do what's right. That's all it is. You do what's right. You don't even have to talk to nobody. Find a better way. Find a way. If you ain't found a way, you're not looking. And that's a fact. Naga.